Well, good morning, Lisa on the East Coast.
And good afternoon, Sharen on the West Coast. Because you're in the morning, I'm in the afternoon.
That's right. That is true. And here we are, coast to coast.
Yes, I'm just checking now to see if I changed my setting to see if we are broadcasting live on my page. I think we are, but we'll see in a minute. So sorry about that. So here we are, Coast to Coast Beauty launch party.
Coast to Coast Beauty, our launch party. We want to welcome all of you who's popping on with us to see what is Coast to Coast about.
Yes. And for all of you who pop in later to hear the replay, I hope we're going to do our best to do a good job of letting you know who we are and what we're doing and what we're about and what you can expect from us. So there you
go. Exactly. So I guess we want to talk about how this all came about, why we decided that we wanted to share to the world, to our community in this way.
Oh, wow. Woo, where do I start? I'm a storyteller at heart, so I'm going to go way back and start at the beginning of my journey to get to here. So I'm going to do my best to kind of condense it into a small piece so I don't take up the whole time. But I think it's important to get the background, to get the whole picture. So I was introduced to the direct sales, multi-level marketing business 23 years ago, and was offered an opportunity for several years before then and didn't take it. But when I finally decided to take it, I did because I needed some quick money, and I thought I'm going to get in, get some quick money, and get out. I'm just going to, do a drive-by. And so
money.
drive by, snatch up a little quick money and be gone before anybody know what hit them. And so I did. I got in and I made some really good money really quickly, earned a free trip, but didn't take the trip because I found out I was pregnant and a lot was going on. So fast forward, the baby's born, and he immediately has medical problems, issues, really serious issues. And he was born in April. It took me from April to December to get him stabilized. So that was a lot of time to think. And I thought, I'm not going back to corporate America. I'm going to stay home with this child and give him the best that I can give him. But I still need to make money. So maybe I need to go back and take another look at this direct sales thing. And I will say this, I did not have any problem with the industry. I knew the industry was great because the person who introduced me to it, the company that we're in, they had this policy where if your commission check, which is what you make off of your team, is $5,000 a month or more, they FedEx your paycheck. But it was under $5,000, then you got snail mail. And so my upline was getting her check by FedEx, so I knew the money was there. So I decided, oh my God, I need this industry. I need to make my money at home, but I don't think I'm any good at it. So what can I do? And hi, Linda. And so I decided, well, you know what? I want to learn how to do this. I don't care what it takes. If it's legal, ethical, moral, I'm going to learn how to do it. And so I started this journey of learning. And one of the first things I learned was you don't need an education in how to sell a lipstick or a face cream. I'll tell you a cute story. My son, Rory, I couldn't take this child to the grocery store because he would pick up women. And when I say pick up women, I mean, he'd be like, hey, Miss Lady, that's a pretty lipstick. My mommy sells lipstick too. You probably would like hers. Hey, Miss Lady, that's a really nice smelling perfume. My mommy sells perfume too. You should try hers. And so I learned really early that it didn't take much to learn how to do the sales part of the business. What I needed to learn was how to be a businesswoman, how to be an entrepreneur, how to be a mentor, how to be a team player. And so I began this self education journey to be the best that I could be in this business, because I didn't want to have to look my child in the face and says, I got to put you in daycare because I have to go get a job. I just didn't want to do that to him. And I didn't want to do that to my husband, because I told my husband, baby, I promise you, I can do this. I can make money at this. I know I don't like it right now, but I can do this. And here's the thing, Sharen. The reason why I was feeling so tight and not happy and free with it when I first started was I came in trying to do it the way my upline did it, the person who introduced me. And so big lesson,
Linda.
Big lesson was that I learned early on that you're going to be good in anything if you make it gel with who you are at the core. And so fast forward 23 years later, and I have learned so much that this is something that I believe. I believe that the universe is orderly. And so for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction for that. So that means that what I learned, I didn't have to teach. And so I started pouring into women and built a reputation for being a heart-centered person who did that. And 23 years, not quite 23, about 20 years later, I bumped into you in the same environment, pouring into women and being a teacher and trying to pass on heart-centered mentoring, and not just heart-centered mentoring, but passing on what we both learned, which I believe is that everybody's journey is unique, and it is unique to you. And it's okay. It's supposed to be that way. And don't let anybody make you feel bad about it, and don't feel trapped by it. Embrace it, and then go and find that joy that comes from doing what you enjoy doing. So that's how I got to you.
Well, my journey was a little different. I was working for the County of Los Angeles, and I that was my dream job. I was working crisis. I actually had intended to work with special needs kids, but I did an externship in crisis, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And that was just, I just couldn't imagine doing anything else. And my mentor asked me to also help him out in his business, which was court-ordered domestic violence, anger management, child abuse, sex offenders. And I'm like, oh, okay. I was like terrified, but I didn't think it would be a good career move to turn him down.
Probably not.
So I joined him in his business, and then probably 5 years later, I bought into that business with him. And so then we continued on that journey. But at the same time, I was struggling with lupus, and the symptoms that I'd have would sometimes you could see on my skin. So one of my coworkers had been introduced to this company, a specific product, and she wanted me to try it. We did it, in this manner that was, try the safest possible for me. And I did not react to the product. So what else could I say? I mean, there was nothing else to say. Plus, at that time, I was going through a divorce, and that's costly. And I had a son who actually had a specific medical issue that he needed a specific medical medication that the doctors, the insurance would not pay for. But I saw that it was helping him. So I had to figure out where I could, make up this extra $600 a month, which meant I needed to make, $1,200. So that's what it was for in the beginning. And then it became vacation money. It became trip money. But that's the thing, is that in the industry, this industry has made more millionaires out of women than any other industry. Entrepreneurship for women is on the rise. And it's because of these kinds of programs, these kinds of companies that allow you to work around your needs, your family's needs, your time, and so on. So you can have your cake and you can eat it too with ice cream and whipped cream.
Yes. Cake is not very good without ice cream. Yes.
So I have learned, though, one of the biggest things that you never think about when you're looking at what does my education need to be in terms of this business. But the biggest part of the education, I think, is learning to develop yourself.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that developing yourself is reaching out and helping other people to be the best they can be. And that just gives you no other pleasure. It's like no other pleasure in life to be able to see that you could have impacted someone else in a positive way. It can change their lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I heard there's an old line or phrase out there that's I would never trust and you were in mental health, so there's an old phrase that says I would never trust a psychiatrist that didn't have a psychiatrist, right? And by the same token, I would not trust a teacher who is not still actively learning him or herself. You know, they have to have a mentor and a coach. And so that's one of the reasons why I keep learning and I keep growing, is because the minute I think I know it all, I'm not going to be very much valuable, have very much value for the people that I mentor. And so I don't want to, become redundant and, lose the value that I wish to bring to the table. I will say that, let me say, something happened. I kind of gave the overview of the story that of how I got started on this journey. But one thing, I want to go back and add something to that. When my son became really deathly ill, and I dropped everything to go and take care of him, I ended up owing the company that I was with money. Mm-hmm. And so during that time from April to December, I was not able to pay it. And so my account went into collection. And so sometimes when you hear me talk about how long I've been at this, I'll say 22, 23 years. It's not because I can't count that high. It's because if I go back to the original, it was 23. But if I go back to my current agreement with the company, it's 22. So my account went to collection. And so all this months while I'm doing my thing and help to stabilize my child, I'm thinking, what am I going to do? And I'm letting my upline know I'm coming back. I know I have to clear up my account, but I'm coming back. I'll figure it out. And so in December, she calls me and says, "Are you ready?" And I said, "Yes." And she says, "Okay, well, I'll tell you what are your plans?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to buy a few catalogs from you, and I'm just going to go and sell until I'm going to sell a couple $1,000s in January. And then I'm going to take that $1,000 profit and pay off the collection. And then I'm going to get a new business kit, buy myself some demo products and get started again." And she says, "That's a good plan. If you do that, I will pay your way to conference," which was in February. Okay. It wasn't very much. I think it was $25 or something like that, $25 or $30. And she says, "And you can ride with me and you can stay in the room with me." And I thought, okay, deal. Well, I did. I went to her house. I got 3 catalogs and I hit the road grinding. I called old clients. I was like, "You should be out by now. I need to come. Do you want to reorder the same thing you had, or do you want me to recommend something that I think you would really love?" And so that whole month I did grind. Well, the deadline to register came and I had not finished the money, but she registered me anyway because she knew what I was going to do. I went to conference, and let me tell you something. There's a lesson in there. One of the lessons was people do better with a hand up, not a hand out. Okay. I had the opportunity to fix my own mess, which is empowering. It was very empowering for me to be able to fix my own mess. So when I went to her house to buy the catalog, she was like, okay, I have these 3. You can have those for free. And if you need more, then you can buy them. So I took 3 catalogs and I hit the road. And it was when I came back with a sense of purpose, a sense of pride. I had cleaned up that mess. I had a new agreement number. I had a new lease on life. While I was running around getting orders in January, I had booked parties for February. And so I went to that conference with a whole new attitude. Like, this is going to be it for me. I'm going to absorb everything I can absorb, and I'm going to make this career. I'm going to be so good. My name is going down in history because I'm just going to nail this thing.
And it has.
I'm still nailing. I still got that hammer. Okay, so that was a really good lesson for me, and I use it today. Sometimes when you mentor people, they think what they need is a handout, but they don't. That's a quick fix that's not going to get them where they want to go. And so sometimes we have to be the tough person. When you said the other day I was tough, that's where I'm tough at. When I know that what you think you need is not what you actually need, I can be tough right there. I'd be like, oh, yo, we can figure this out. You can figure this out. Okay. You can figure out how to clean up a mess in your life.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. If it's of value to you, you put it out. And it was sort of like that for me too, is that I really came in and out and in and out and in and out, because it seemed like every time I would get a promotion with the county.
Oh.
But I said, oh no, I'm going to build my business now. And yeah, I would end up getting a promotion, or we'd get my practice, we'd get a new contract, and it would take my attention away. But I had to stay with the company because I had to have those products. Those were they were a necessity for me at that point. But it's, the atmosphere is what is so attractive, I think, to people. The atmosphere of powerful women who didn't start off that way, but they grow into that and become, these diamonds, these awesome diamonds. But I want to talk about the people that we really don't see, which are the men behind us. I mean, oh my goodness.
Okay.
I cannot absolutely believe some of the things that, my husband just listens to me and says, okay, babe, okay, if you think so, sure, of course. And sometimes I know he's probably not listening, but, letting me talk it through.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that we as women in any kind of entrepreneurial position, in any kind of business position, really, without having that support of the men behind us, I mean, I can't imagine. And I mean, I've worked with a lot of women who haven't had it. Mm-hmm. And it makes it so much harder. It makes it so much harder.
It is. I agree that if you don't have it, it's more difficult. And, you mentioned, going through a divorce, and now, you're married now. And a lot of people might not realize that, I got married at 18, 3 weeks out of high school. And a few years later, I was divorced. So the man of my dreams that I'm married to now for 30 plus years, I've done it both ways. I've done it as a single parent, and I've done it as a married person, newly married person, and I've done it as an established married person. It's definitely easier as an established married person, and it's definitely easier if he is willing to be the wind beneath your wings. It's definitely easier, and I know because I mean, I could talk all day about this joker over here. I mean, he's got me, 100%. So I totally appreciate that. But I have seen the good, the bad, and the ugly of doing it as a single parent. I've seen doing it as a person who is trying to get an education. And so it's definitely doable, but you have to put a tribe around you and a support person around you when you don't have the support at home. But it's still doable.
Yes, definitely. I actually had a situation where I had all my team was scheduled to be somewhere and nobody showed up. So my husband said, "Oh, he was just going to sit there and wait to see." And no, he ended up selling lipstick and body scrub
Okay. Yes.
Falls in with what I need. And that's what's so great is that he gives me rope to go as far as I want to go, but he's at the end and he's got it tight, and that's just a good feeling to know. So
yeah, it is. It's absolutely. But let me tell you something. I say, I mentored single women many times, and they're saying, "Oh, but you have so much good help. If I had, the help like you, I would be, I could be good too. I could be successful too." And I have said to many, you know what? While you're away, he's on his way, but while he's traveling to you, go ahead and become the best person you can be. Become the kind of woman that he can't, pass up. So that when he gets there, you're going to have this, but you have to, first of all, don't sit around and stress about the fact that you don't have him. Start thinking about, okay, what kind of man is he going to be? And once you got that picture real clear in your head, what kind of woman does he deserve? And then take a good, long, hard look at yourself and say, are you that person? And then get to work on it. And then what you find is that you're improving in your business life, you're improving your family life, you improve with your girlfriend relationships in all of these other areas, so that by the time he shows up, he'll be like, you know what, my husband asked me to marry him after 1 month, okay, because he could see what this package was. Okay, a little brag there, but when he shows up, right, Linda, shows up, he's going to look at you and say, whoa, I cannot pass up this woman. So, but if you stay where you are and complain and feel sorry for yourself and, just let the negativity get the best of you, when he shows up, he's going to look and like, too much baggage. Okay. If he's a really good one, the kind that you envision, the one that you want, when you close your eyes, you see him, then he is going to be looking for a certain woman too. And okay, go ahead and get to work, girlfriend. It's okay.
Exactly. Be all that you can be. Be all that you want to be. That's
yeah. Yes.
We've got all these plans, all these topics that we want to talk about. Some of them, I guess the first one we're going to tackle is date night. Is that? You remember that. I get teased by my girlfriends a lot, but some of them are adopting it, 30 something years in. And yes, Linda's been married for 53 years. Linda, you get the trophy. Yes, I'd have to add both of them up to get, I still get there.
Linda gets the trophy. But 30 something years in, and my husband and I are still dating. We're still doing date night, and our kids are like, y'all act like young people. And so we have the very beautiful pleasure of being in a different place now. Now we get to laugh at them because they're where we used to be, little children, never enough money. Okay, trying to just make it through. And so we get to go and play. And but date night is something that I'll tell another little quick story. I know we're coming up on the end. As I said, I was married before, and I came into the marriage with 3 little kids. Little, 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, and 6. And, married a younger man. Wink, wink. Okay. And so when we got married, all of our friends were out doing other things what single people were doing. And my husband and I.
Nothing. I highly recommend it.
Yes. Okay. So this young man and I, my husband, we had to date differently. So we would go to the midnight movie and he'd have one child in each arm. They'd be asleep and I'd have one in my arm. And we would, because we didn't have to pay for the kids, and we would lay them on the seats because it was empty. We found an empty row, lay them on the seats, and then we sit beside each other and we dated. And then we'd leave there and go to Denny's and find that circular booth and lay them in the circle. And we sit there and eat, and talk about the movie, talk about our day, talk about life and our hopes and dreams and aspirations. And so, or we find an outdoor concert, pack a picnic basket, it was so totally different, but it made us grow. So we grew up together almost, and it made us so much stronger together. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So yes, we have a lot to talk about. We've done a lot of living. Okay. We've seen a lot of things, done a lot of things, been through a lot of things, and we can bring some perspectives to a lot of different topics. So yes, date night is one of my favorite topics, and so we will talk about that.
Talk about how to get ready and prepare for date nights. That's what we're going to look forward to next week.
And some things that you can do on date night.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that because we had not really been doing that a lot. Actually, date night for us for a long time had been $5 night at Vaughn's, which is Safeway where you guys are at.
Oh wow!
I mean, we would even take pictures, selfies of, oh, we're in the meat department, because that was like the time that we knew we were going to be together.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we've gotten better. We've got a lot more time scheduled for us and so forth. But yeah, we jokingly said the date night was $5 Friday at Vaughn's.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about how to make date night magical, some things that you can do, some places you can go, how to make it memorable, because my kids now quote me. I'm not really big on money. I'm big on memories. And I tell my kids all the time, make memories, baby, make memories. Yeah. And so we're going to talk about how to make memories on date night. Wow, can you believe 30 minutes are up?
Already. It's, for you and I, when we get together, it's always like that. I mean, you guys are lucky it's not 3 hours later.
Yes.
Just for 30 minutes, and that's what we're going to stick to. And we really appreciate all of you that's popped in. Linda, right here with us. I saw Evelyn popped in and said we were going to be our awesome selves, our magical self, something like that. But yes, thank you so much, Evelyn, for your support. And we want everyone who sees it on the replay to drop us a message, put an emoji, just anything. Just let us know that you were here. Ah, yes, with wine. With wine. Yes, it gets better just like wine and cheese. So we want everyone to share it out to people who it might be benefit for, and also let them know about next week. We're looking forward to learning about how to make date night magical, special, some things to do.
Okay.
So here we are, our launch of Coast-to-Coast Beauty. I'm Sharen Davis on the West Coast.
And I am Arleatha Lisa Washington on the East Coast. And we would like to bid you until next time.
So bye-bye. Have a great weekend. Next Friday at 11 Pacific and 2 Eastern.